How's it going, YouTube? Yeah, Pat Mack here, coach of the Sacramento Saints / playing in round 1 of the playoffs up against JosheeWashie, coach of the Jubilife City Jirachis. You can see our team up above, their team down below, both teams range in speed order, of course, as well as 6 Pokemon that we are bringing and 6 Pokemon that I think JosheeWashie is going to bring to our match. Part of our game plan here is definitely around Bulk Up and Belly Drum. I think 2 of those setup moves are going to be really nice here. And then I think Reflect is going to be pretty important too. They have a ton of physical attackers on their team. Rotom-mow is really the only special attacker that I'm concerned about. So if we can get Reflect up, then we're able to take a lot of hits. And so that's definitely going to help us in the long term of the game. So anyway, we'll see what 6 JosheeWashie decides to bring in just a moment. All right, here we are in the match, and it looks like most of what I thought was going to be here is here. Just no weather, which is nice. That just means that we have full control of the weather, which makes this... well, it just means that there's no Sandvale Garchomp shenanigans, which would have been frustrating to play against. So, okay, so what do I think that they would lead with, and how do I want to play this? I think it makes some sense for me to... Oh, man, I'm trying to decide. I feel like if I lead with Jolteon and Stylus, then let's put some pressure on several Pokemon that they could lead with, which sounds kind of nice. And then I could also have debating between wanting a Slowking and Corviknight endgame or Pyroar endgame. I kind of want to scout a little bit before I try to do Titan here. But I kind of like just these 2. This will put quite a bit of pressure on their team. And I think this could put quite a bit of work in. Yeah, so let's go with these 2. This gives me 2 nice swap-ins as well. Just if I want to play a little bit more defensive in terms of just making some adjustments to the lead. And it'll probably make the game a little bit longer so I can scout some information, which sounds kind of nice here too. But good luck, have fun over to JosheeWashie. Should be a good game. I'm not sure. Spiritomb, Earthworm. Okay. So I kind of like the idea of just damage. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of just doing some damage here. Let's just go ahead and hit this Earthworm. And honestly, I kind of just want to Fake Tears it too. Yeah, I kind of want to just Fake Tears this thing as well. Yeah, let's just hit this hard. Oh, okay. So they ally switch. All right, good to know that they have ally switch. So Fake Tears obviously isn't going to do anything. We're going to end up hitting the Spiritomb instead, and my guess is that this is a like Shed Tail. Yep. Okay, that makes sense. So Shed Tail, Citrus Berry makes some sense here. So we're gonna have to deal with something. Not quite sure what it's gonna be, but something's gonna be behind sub. Thankfully, we do have parting shots so that we can switch around it, but we'll see what they go into. Sarah-led. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. Because I don't mind just going for a parting shot on that, and we can Thunderbolt the Spiritomb here again. Just try to deal some damage to that mon, just because it's a little frustrating to play against. And this will also, well, I'd like to be able to break this sub here, huh? Yeah, I'd kind of like to be able to break sub. But how bad is it if I don't? Now, let's just go ahead and do this. We'll, oh, I could get Reflect up as well. Yeah, let's go and get Reflect up. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So they protect, kind of scouting to make sure that they keep their sub. So I didn't actually attack into that slot at all, so I won't have to worry about that at all. We'll get some damage reduction off, which will be good. So we have a little bit less to worry about. And then some Thunderbolt damage. Okay, honestly, that was perfect. Not gonna be able to parting shot this next turn. That's okay, I think, because I actually don't mind just splitting up my damage here and trying to break sub and deal some damage. I'm just gonna kind of play around the potential ally switch that could happen here. So I'm gonna Thunderbolt this slot, and then I'll crunch here. If they ally switch, they ally switch, but yeah, this is okay, I think. But I should be able to break sub on this, and then from there, I don't know, we'll see what I want to do next. And they're bulk up. Okay, good to know. I should still be able to break sub, I think. But them being at +1 just makes this a little bit more difficult. So we'll see what I'm able to do here. Okay, moment of truth. Okay, whew. Man, sometimes, you know, you gotta be a little careful about that kind of thing. So I think I'm gonna play this next turn fairly similarly to what I just did here. But I almost want to Shadow Ball, because I feel like Ally Switch makes a ton of sense. I also don't know if I really need to reveal it, right? Yeah, let's just go and hit the 2 spots here. Is it worthwhile to read an Ally Switch? No, I don't think so. I kind of want this Pokemon gone, though. Like, it's a little frustrating to deal with. And they could protect again, right? Let's just go and take out the Spiritomb. And they Terra. Okay, what are you tearing into? Grass type. Okay, alright, that's fine. I knew this could be a possibility. This is a pretty common Ceruledge set too. But they Ally Switch again. Yep, that makes sense. So we should deal both of our attacks into the Ceruledge here. And Bitter Blade. How well do we take this? Okay, we actually do take the hit. So Reflect definitely helping us out. But we're not going to be able to deal very much damage to it. And they're Life Orb. Okay, good to know. So how do I want to play this next? Do I want to, I think I'm still taunted, right? I kind of want to protect on this play, and then, am I still taunted? Last turn of taunt, okay. And I think I'll just crunch, trying to think of what they would do here. Do I want to lose this Mon right now? I think it could be okay. Because I could swap into... No, let's go and protect, and then, yeah, let's crunch. We'll crunch this one. I think it's fine. I'd like them to scout for priority, just in case to see if they have it. They do have Shadow Sneak. Okay, good to know. I think this next turn I'd like to be able to Parting Shot that slot too. Okay, Nightshade. Nightshade's not too big a deal. It's constant pressure, but in the end it doesn't really do a whole lot. Is it worthwhile for me to try to play around the Shadow Sneak? I don't think I need to. I'm just gonna try to hit the Ceruledge with Shadow Ball, and let's go in Parting Shot. I could Parting Shot slot 2. I'm a little concerned about Ally Switch here again. And like, what's the downside of if they do Ally Switch? So I kind of like the idea of Parting Shot here. I'm gonna make this. Feels like a weird play to make, but I almost want to make it. Nah, I'm gonna go. Okay, they protect. All right, cool. This protect Ally Switch options is like it's frustrating, man. It's tough to figure out what the best way is to play around this, but it doesn't look like they're going for Shadow Sneak, so maybe we'll be able to pick up enough damage on this. But I'm just gonna go into Slowking. And then if they do attack this slot, then we'll take some helmet damage, which will be nice. And they don't? Okay, they don't Shadow Sneak. Almost enough. Ah, so close. Bitter Blade. I don't think it KOs. Ooh, it might. Hold up, they don't regain that much health, and they're gonna take Life Orb chip plus Helmet chip. So this, okay, cool. All right, we do pick up that KO. So that's a really good turn. Yeah, that was about as well as I could have hoped that I'd go for. All right, and then they have one other Pokemon, so we'll see maybe we'll see what it is. And they've used their Terra, so they don't have to worry about that anymore. Having that reflect was really nice, though. Azumarill's the last one. Okay. So no Rotom, no Garchomp. I don't mind losing this Mon, actually. I don't mind just going for a Thunderbolt into one of these two slots. I think is fine. And then I could Chilling Water into the other. But I kind of think that I lose... Well, I could Protect, I think. Yeah, I could Protect. And then I can Chilling Water and hit... Either one of these is probably okay, actually. Oh, I don't want to use Psychic, though. But Chilling Water will reduce the attack stat for this, and that sounds kind of nice. I could also potentially Hail Swap. I don't think that's worth it. Let's just go and hit the Azumarill here. I'm not quite sure what it is that they're going to do here. Because I could see a ton of options, right? Aqua Jet seems like the most likely, yeah. So we save our HP there. And they taunt. Okay, that's probably fine, actually. Because I wasn't planning on using a move anyway. But Chilling Water on this is a really good scenario for me. And is it time to let Jolteon go down? Kind of think it is. And then I can get into Corviknight for free. And even just one bulk up would still be good. I could also go into here, set up Reflect. I don't think that makes sense. I think it makes sense for me, just for me to attack this. And then I guess I'm looking at like Body Press and Brave Bird as the end game, which I think could work. So let's go ahead and hit this, and then I'll just Chilling Water to hit the other slot in case they ally switch. I think that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we're gonna lose Jolteon. Yeah. So this was just in case they swapped, which they didn't end up doing, but I think they were still in a good spot. I think I just go into Corviknight, actually. And I can get a bulk up for free. Really easily, actually. And then I think I want to swap Slowking out and get the Regenerator off. And probably be in a pretty good spot, actually. Yeah, so let's go and bulk up here. No reason for me to Terra here, but let's go and swap into Grim. I can get Regenerator HP, should bring me back up to full, and then I still have the option for setting Reflect, or I can set Reflect, or what's the other thing? Or I can Parting Shot again. Both those options seem really good. This Spiritomb is definitely annoying, though. Like, it's kind of frustrating to deal with, but it is what it is. We're gonna have to deal with it. I'm expecting a taunt. Like, 100% there should be a taunt right here. Yep. Yep. And now the next option of what I go for. I think the play is... Is it Brave Bird? It's either Brave Bird or Body Press, and either one could work. God, I really want this. I really want the Spiritomb to be gone. I'm gonna go here, and then let's go ahead and set up Reflect as well. Yeah, that makes sense. And then what are they doing? Yeah, we shouldn't deal very much damage to this. They might Iron Defense themselves. Yeah, they Iron Defense themselves. Okay. That should be alright to deal with. I'm assuming Body Press is their only move, which I should be able to deal with. So I'll just Body Press that slot, and I could probably just crunch the other one. Yeah, I can just crunch the other slot. I'm not 100% sure where I'm gonna cut this back in, but we had a disconnect and we recreated everything, so now we're in the position of actually playing the game. So I'll go ahead and get everything started here, and we'll play things out. But I'm pretty sure this is the play I want to go for. I've been taunted at this point, if I remember correctly. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I've been taunted, so I just need to go for damage on stuff, so I'm just going to damage the Earthworm. We can check to see if it has Protect as well, which will be good information to have. But it definitely could continue to set up body presses, but we know it doesn't have recovery because it doesn't have Citrus Bear anymore. So I feel kind of okay with how the situation's playing out here. And I still have like quite a bit of solid damage output, just in general. So the play I'm going to make here, I'm going to crunch the Spirit Tomb and I'll body press the Earthworm, I think. Is just how I'm going to play this. This will kind of cover for a body press, or for a an ally switch, just in case they do go for that. But I'm kind of fine to just go for some damage on both Pokemon here. And if they ally switch, then cool, like that's fine. I just get some damage on both these mons. And yeah, like that wasn't going to do very much, we knew for sure, but I wanted the chance to get damage on stuff. This might put me in Rage My Berry. Oh, just off. That's okay. The Nightshade will, though, because it should do exactly 50. Yeah. So this is a pretty good situation at the moment. So options for what I have here. I think I'm fine to... Oh, I almost want a Parting Shot. Oh, and I realize I haven't updated the layout here. So there's 2 Pokemons that are down at the moment. We don't have Jolteon anymore. There we go. But we shook off our Taunt is what I thought I saw, which is pretty good. But I'm just going to Parting Shot this Earthworm slot. Or is it better to just straight swap? I think I'm just going to straight swap. And then I am no longer taunted, correct? I'm no longer taunted. In that case, I'm just going to set up another Bulk Up. And this will like kind of cover for an ally switch. If he does end up body pressing my Grimmsnarl, then I'm just going to go into Slowking and I'll be in a really good spot there. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good spot for me at the moment. And yeah, I will say that there's, we did make a small mistake in the recreation. I used Chilling Water. The second time I used Chilling Water, you'll have seen in the replay I used it on Spiritomb, and in the actual match that we're playing right now, I used it on Spiritomb by accident, or I used it on Azumarill by accident, so definitely made a mistake there, but is what it is at this point. I've already let him know that if the damage ends up mattering, then I'm going to forfeit the match that we're playing right here, and it is what it is at this point. I think I'm fine to just go for a Chilling Water. I'm going to kind of split my difference here, and I'm just fine to body press the Earthworm slot. If they do end up swapping, then I should deal an okay amount of damage to this Earthworm, like with an ally switch. And if they don't swap, then like I'll kill it with body press. And then we'll see what damage do. Cool. All right, so we'll pick up this Earthworm KO. And our Corviknight's in a really good spot to pick up the endgame against Azu, and should be kind of fine against everything else that we have going on here. I'm probably looking at swapping out the Spiritomb right, or not the Spiritomb, the Slowking right here, just because I want to be healthy for the Azumarill. And then I'm probably looking at just Brave Bird for the rest of the match on Corviknight, and I think that's a pretty good spot for me. But let's just get our Regenerator HP, and then, yeah, then we'll be in a pretty good spot, I think. Oops, I don't want to swap that one. And then Brave Bird, it doesn't really matter which one I go for, per se. Actually, wait, am I taunted right now? I'm not. I think it's probably better I just make sure that they don't have Belly Drum is kind of my concern at this point. So I think I just attack this. Although I can, honestly, I can just bulk up again, right? let's go and bulk up again. If they don't end up attacking the Slowking spot, then I can get up Reflect this next turn. What am I? Oh, this. Okay, that's actually even better. Yeah, so I get a free bulk up. I find out that they're Protect. They can't be Citrus. Oh, they're probably not Belly Drum, right? Because they're Citrus Berry on the Orthworm. And I'm fully expecting a taunt to come out. Nope, no taunt. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. I'm at... I need to check Reflect turns. Yeah, no Reflect turns. So I'm just going to try to go for Reflect. If I get it, I get it. Cool. If I don't, like, whatever. And I'm just going to Brave Bird the Azo slot. It just protected, so they could ally switch, but then I get a ton of damage on the Spiritomb, and that seems good for me too. And if they end up targeting the Grimmsnarl with like Aqua Jet to stop our Reflect from going up, then like that's kind of okay too. Because if that happens, then I just get Slowking in for free, I think. So either one of these scenarios, I think is okay. Yeah, this is fine with me. And I figured that there was a chance of that happening, but we get Reflect, so we're in a really good spot. And they Aqua Jet. Oh, so I'm faster. Okay, that's good to know. I don't remember if I put new speed on Grimmsnarl. No, I didn't. Okay, so they have 0 speed on the Azumarill, presumably. And we pick up the KO on Spiritomb. So the extra chip that we would have got from earlier isn't going to matter. And I think at this point, the extra chip on the Azumarill wouldn't have mattered either, so we'll be okay. So yeah, especially since we're Helmet here. I don't think I need to Terra either one of my Mons. I think I'm fine to just... well, at this point, I can Psychic and Brave Bird. And I think that will put me in the winning position. I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, we pick up that game. Okay, cool. So we end up picking up the game 1 win, which obviously is great, right? Being up 1-0 is a good position to be in. And yeah, we learned some good information from that match though. So I know the full Cerulege set, and I know the full Spiritomb set. I know... Oh, actually, I know all the information on the Orthworm too. Yeah, I know all the information on the Orthworm. Azu, I know, has Jet and Protect. And I guess that's everything. That's a lot though. Yeah, that's quite a bit. Cool. Okay, so we're in a fairly good spot. All right, so coming in the next game, I'm just debating if I want to switch anything up. I kind of liked everything that I had going on there, so I feel kind of confident on sticking with a similar setup. I do kind of wonder if I should consider Pyroar here, because it looks like it walls the whatchamacallit, the Spiritomb can't do anything against it, and then the Cerulege, it would resist both of the stabs, which I kind of like. I kind of like that, and just in general, it does fairly good damage against their team. So I think that might be a switch that I can make here. And I'll just keep the Jolteon. No, I don't think I'll use Jolteon at all, actually. This makes me a little bit weaker to Azu, but the rest of my team is pretty good against Azu, so I don't really think I need to switch things up for that one. And this makes me a little bit better against Cerulege, which I kind of like. And if I Terra the Slowking, then I'm in a really good spot. This also puts more pressure on the Rotom, which I think would be a switch that they'd make. So yeah, we're gonna go with this. But I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot, just in the matchup in general. And we'll see what they decide to do. But no Jolteon this time, and I didn't bring Satitan again. I honestly really wanted to bring Satitan because it's like, it looks so cool, but it's what it is. Okay, and they just straight up swapped to 2 completely different Pokemon from what we had. Options here. If I remember correctly, I'm slower. No, I'm faster than Garchomp. In that case, I'm considering just hitting it with something. I could also just swap. Or protect. I kind of like protect. Protect kind of sounds safe. And I can get up reflect. And that sounds good too, actually. So let's go and do that. Yeah, and rotom protects too. Yeah, and I'm kind of expecting an EQ to come out here. That makes a ton of... They protect also. Okay, that's actually... This is probably the best case scenario turn for me. Yeah. Now, I don't think that I live a hit from Garchomp, which is kind of unfortunate. But I can't really swap into the Rotom. So I kind of like the idea of a Hyper Voice, or I could do a Flamethrower here. My concern is Cerulege. My concern is a Cerulege coming in right there. I could Dark Pulse and kind of cover for that. I could also Parting Shot this slot. You know what? We're gonna Fake Tears. We're gonna Fake Tears and try to hit this. Because if I can kill Rotom, then I look so good against a ton of Mons on their team. And so I'm gonna play this turn to look to see if I can KO Rotom. Okay, what are you tearing into though? Electric? Okay, that seems fine, because if this Dark Pulse does enough, then this Terra Electric isn't going to do a whole lot to me. And we get the Fake Tears off, and I'm hoping that this Dark Pulse can KO, because if it does, I'm in such a good spot. We get the crit. Wow. Okay, so that's obviously huge. They don't have Terra anymore, and we picked up a KO, so that's pretty massive. I don't know how much damage I would have done, but it should have been a lot. It should have been a lot, to be honest. But we do live. Okay, so we even get another hit. And they bring a Zoom Roll. Oh, so we probably don't get another hit, actually. Yeah, we probably don't get another hit. I could protect and like Parting Shot here. I don't know if I want to. I kind of want to just Hyper Voice. Let's just get damage. Yeah, let's just get damage. And then I think I can Parting Shot on this, though. And I'll Parting Shot. Which one is scarier? Probably the Garchomp, just in general. Yeah, I'm gonna Parting Shot the Garchomp, just in case they try to, like, Sword Stance or something. Oh, that's awesome. Whoa, that's not what I thought was gonna happen at all. Okay, cool. So we're gonna be in a really good spot. And again, they have no Terra, so we're kind of in a good spot here. I think I go Slowking. Slowking feels safe. Yeah, Slowking feels safe. They might EQ again, I guess, but I think this is still fine. Because both the Mons that I have on the field are really good against... what am I thinking? They're really good against their team, essentially. Yeah, we're going to die to a Life Orb, but we obviously... like, we just got a bunch of damage on... their Garchomp for essentially free, and they EQ again. Okay, so that's what the Protect was for, to cover themselves on that. Okay, this makes me think I'm gonna guess the last one is Earthworm. And if that's the case, like, I can go Corviknight, and I can just bulk up here. And I'm in a huge, huge spot. Yeah, so we're just gonna bulk up. And then I'm just gonna Ice Beam. Let's just pick up the Garchomp KO and make this a 3v2. Alternatively, you know what? No, I'm gonna Chilling Water the Azu. Yeah, I'm gonna Chilling Water the Azu. Exactly. I wanted to cover for that Garchomp Protect. Because the Azu had protected last turn, so I felt like there was a good possibility of the Garchomp protecting this turn. Perish Song. Oh. Okay, I'm fine with that. In that case, I think the Garchomp swaps. And would it swap? I'm gonna try to kill it. I'm gonna try to kill it with Ice Beam. Yeah, I'm hella gonna try to kill it with Ice Beam. So, and then I think I'm gonna... Oh, I want to body press that spot. I'm going to body press this spot, and I'm not ice beam this spot. Yeah, let's go. Let's either hit the thing that's swapping in or kill this. And like both of those are really good scenarios for me. Because I don't think you kill either one of my Pokemon here, and I think I pick up a KO. Because I think Orthworm's the last one, so I'm going to bank on it being that. What? Garchomp has Helping Hand? What am I looking? I didn't even know that Pokemon had Helping Hand. I'm be real, no clue. That's hella funny. Yeah, that doesn't do enough. That doesn't do nearly enough. Okay, yeah, we pick up this KO with Ice Beam. Sweet. All right, so Azu's gonna die to its own. Yeah, Azu's gonna die to its own Perish Song at this point, and we can still swap. So we're in a pretty good spot here. I did not know Garchomp had Helping Hand. That was hella unexpected. Alright, but I still got another Pokemon, so I can switch these two out. Reflect wore off, okay. And let's see what their last one is. Ceruledge was the last one. Oh, in that case, I'm just going to swap Garchomp. No Earthworm and no Spiritomb this time. Yeah, let's just swap you out into you. And let's go ahead and we'll Terra Water on this and Chilly Reception the Ceruledge. Let's do that. Now we're in a position where we don't get hit super effectively by even a Shadow Sneak from Ceruledge. It can't Terra, so we're kind of in a great spot. Azu doesn't matter at this point. Like Azu can do whatever it wants because it's gonna die to its own Perish Song. So I think I swap out Slowking this next turn, and I should have enough to be able to deal with this Ceruledge. Yeah, they bulk up. That's cool. Just because I'm gonna hit this. Oh my god, I can't see anything on the field. This freaking Terra Hat is so massive. Oh my god. Oh, we're getting a boost to our Chilling Water damage too. That's kind of cool. Yeah, we dropped the attack, so that's also great. So yeah, Azu's gonna die this next turn. I'm just gonna swap out Short King, and I will just let's just get up Reflect. Let's just make sure nothing insane happens here. We'll swap in Corviknight. It's okay. Like if I like a Slow King is how I beat this this Ceruledge. So like if they get up a Bitter Blade and get like all their health back from this Corviknight, like no big deal. Like I'm gonna get a Reflect up here, then I'm gonna be able to crunch it. So we're chill. And Ceruledge actually protects. Okay, so Azu's gonna go down to its own Perish Song. We'll get Reflect up. We might even live this play rough. I'm like max Fizz Def, I think. Yep. In that case, we're in a great spot. I think I might actually just switch out Cerboars, too. Yeah, Azu's gonna die to this on Perish Song, and then I'm pretty sure we got this. 3v1? Can I mess it up? Let's hope not. let's not talk like that, you know what I mean? I don't really want to get a bunch of HP back, so I'm just gonna swap in the Slow King. Yeah, I think this is probably my best play. If they decide to Bitter Blade the other Mon, it makes sense, but yeah, I figured they would go for the Corviknight. And this will be chip damage from Helmet as well as their Life Orb. And then, yeah, I'm in a pretty good spot, I think. I may even just Parting Shot this. Oh, actually, this probably KOs, right? Cool. All right, there we go. And so we pick up the 3-1 victory on game 2, and we pick up the 2-0 win overall. So good game over to JosheeWashie. The defensive combination of Slow King, Corviknight, Grimmsnarl was huge, and we got a little bit of breaking power at the front with Pyroar or Jolteon, and those were able to just help us clean up the rest of the game. So anyway, like I said, good game over to him. If you'd like to catch some more of our content, whether it is VGC or singles draft leagues, definitely stick around, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. and I'll catch you on the next one.